Alright, let's look at the homework 3.7, problem number 7. Alright, so we want to find the equation of the line through this point that cuts off the least area from the first quadrant. Alright, so let's do that. Alright, so I already drew the picture, so it's going to go through 2, 5, and we don't know the slope, so I'm going to call it slope m. So equation of this line can be written as y minus y1, which is 5, is equal to slope m, which is unknown, and x minus 2. Alright, so in order to find this triangular area, what we need to do is find the x-intercepts and the y-intercepts. Right, so let's find the y-intercept. So we just plug in. So if you want the y-intercept, right, so we set the x equals 0. So maybe I should say x equals 0. And this gives you y minus 5 is equal to 0 minus 2, so it's a negative 2m, right? So which means that by adding 5, y-intercept is going to be negative 2m plus 5, right? So here is negative 2m plus 5, right? Then x-intercept. So in order to find x-intercept, we set y equal to 0. Right, so plug in 0, so for y, so negative 5 is equal to mx minus 2m. Right, actually, maybe I shouldn't have done that. Just keep it m times quantity x minus 2, right? Then I'm going to just divide through by m, so that you have negative 5 over m is equal to x minus 2. So by adding 2 to both sides, so you have negative 5 over m plus 2 is equal to x. So this guy right here is negative 5 over m plus 2. Alright, so if you want the area of the triangle, so A, so in terms of m, is going to be 1/2. Right, base is going to be, I'm going to actually write it as a 2 minus 5m times y would be, I'm going to write it as a 5 minus 2m. Alright, so if you multiply this out, we get, let's see, 1/2 is just a constant. Right, 2 times 5 is 10. Right, 2 times negative 2m is negative 4m. Right, negative 5m times 5 is negative 25 over m. And then you have negative 5m times negative 2m. M cancel out, so it's going to be positive. Let's see, this times that, it's positive 10. Alright, then you can see that this is going to be simply 1/2, 10 plus 10, 20, minus 4m minus 25 over m. Right? So let's take the derivative. So a prime of m is equal to, alright, so derivative is going to be, so let's see, 1/2 is just a constant. Derivative of 20 is 0. Derivative of that is negative 4. Derivative of negative 25 over m would be negative positive 25 over m squared. Right? We're going to set that equal to 0, which means that, let's see, 25 over m is equal to 4. Right? Maybe write it this way. So this is equal to 4 has to be equal to 25 over m squared. Then multiply by m squared. So you have a 4m squared is equal to 25. Then we can just divide through by 4. So m squared is equal to 25 over 4. And then you can take the square root of both sides. So m is going to be plus or minus 5 over 2. Right? But we can see that this is always, the slope is going to be negative. So we know that the negative 1 is the 1. Right? So let's make sure that this is going to be give us the minimum. Right? So we forgot to say the m. So it's going to be, if you have a positive slope, that's going to be, there's no finite area. So we know that it's going to be negative. So let's see, but you can make it as steep as you want. So this is on negative infinity to 0. Right? Then let's look at the number line here. Right? So here 0, and you have negative 5 over 2. Then you have area a prime. Right? So we can try like a negative 3 or something like that, and you can see that if you put the negative 3 here, and that would be 25 over 9, and 25 over 9 is less than 4, so it's going to be negative. So we know that that's negative here. And after negative 5 over 2, like negative 1. If you put negative 1, 25 over 1 is definitely bigger than 4, so that will be positive. Alright, so the area function is decreasing before negative 5 over 2 and increasing after negative 5 over 2. So we know that this is going to be the absolute minimum. Right? So we know that when m equals negative 5 halves, we have the smallest area. So therefore, the equation of the line is y minus 5 is equal to negative 5 halves x minus 2. All right? So let's type this guy in. Right, so equation is y minus 5 is equal to negative negative 5 over 2 x minus 2. Right, so let's double check. So we're going to scroll down and submit for testing. Alright, it came back and looks like we got this equation correctly. Alright, that's it. I hope that this was clear.